Hey everybody, Jackson here. Today we're going to do another set review of a set I really didn't think much of until I got it, and now I'm exploding with ideas on how I want to customize it and change it and make it my own. I really, really like this set for how small and simple it is. So we're going over set 75099 Ray's Speeder from Jack Who. I think it's a pretty cool build. I appreciate the colors. You know, Star Wars has a lot of hate on big gray ships and not much else. A full red speeder like this is really cool. It's only 193 pieces, so relatively simple small build, but it's got some really cool play features in here I didn't know about until I actually put it all together. And so that was a fun surprise to have, and it's really started making me think of a lot of ways I want to customize it. So let's first start with the minifigures that it comes with. Alright, so the set comes with two minifigures. Ray, obviously, and then one of Unkar's thugs, who I think is actually a pretty unique character to get. Pretty cool printing all over him, actually, and a face mold, and he comes with his gold crowbar he tries to use. I don't know if I can take this helmet off very easily. But pretty cool little face print on there of just a really small fig to get, really small character to get as a fig. So I like that a lot. But Rey is who I'm actually really happy with. I think her printing, her crossed robes are really cool. Her hairpiece is obviously very unique, and so getting that as well. In addition to getting the side satchel, I really like when they include the accessories that the characters are really known for, and she's very much known for that. It's where she stashes Luke's lightsaber. It's where she stashes a lot of things, and so having this on here that also works with, her extended hairpiece, everything going on, I think is awesome. She also comes with, her staff build is relatively simple, but I think it does capture her staff in the movies pretty well. But she does come with what I think is maybe my favorite piece, which is if you take off her hair, she comes with her scavenger. Sorry, this is going to be out of focus. She comes with her scavenger head wrap she has in the very beginning of Force Awakens, which I think looks incredible. I think that is such a good mold to have. It's got the little lights on either side of her goggles she's got on that shine out there. It, again, works with her satchel still over her shoulders. That is just such a good piece and fits so well in the universe of the scavengers and stuff on those sandy desert planets. And so seeing that head mold, wanting to use that in even like custom character stuff is a huge thing. I'm really glad I have that. I'm really glad when they include stuff like that. Oh, Jesus. This focus thing is going to be... Sorry about that. Anyways, that head mold to me is really cool because they include that head wrap and they include her hairpiece, so you can swap them back and forth. Sometimes when they include helmets on characters that have unique or prominent hair designs, they'll include one or the other. That's really frustrating to me. I'm glad they included both. And for someone who wants to make like a custom in-universe character to represent myself and put in these little battles, that scavenger head wrap piece is so cool to me. I really want to use that. So honestly, seeing that was probably one of the reasons I bought this set alone, is just that really cool headpiece. And so when I started doing the build, I was really happy to find other things about this build that I also enjoyed. So this build, again, bright red, pretty minimal stickers, just adds a little bit of this orange detailing here. That being said, this orange detailing on the bottom is a plate, so not all the orange is sticker. You do get some little variety. But again, relatively simple build. I do appreciate the way they did the cockpit is not only a printed tile piece for her display, and it's definitely a custom one showing what it looked like, but the way they use these antenna pieces, it'll actually sit in a minifig's hands, so it looks like they're driving it. Big fan of that. Something I'm very happy with this ship about in the sequels was that they chose to do a ship that didn't look like every other speeder that we've gotten, right? I know there's Luke's land speeder, which has a unique look to it, and then after that, every little motorcycle looking speeder that people drive is just a slight color variation or kind of a jankier copy of the Scout Trooper speeder's bike, the Bark speeder, Mando's speeder, it feels like every speeder in Star Wars looks pretty much the exact same. I get that they're pretty stripped down, minimal sort of motorcycle-y versions, but I'm really glad we got a really unique design of one. Big bulky front engine is really cool, to a minimal seat back here on top of these dual exhaust ports here. I did find it fun that in the movies, Rey's using it as a scavenger vehicle, which is like not the intended purpose of this. Doesn't have any sort of cargo rack, so she just has a net over the side that she's tossing stuff she finds in. They did a decent enough job showing that here. It's just some clips with some random, like binoculars and a little buzzsaw and stuff. The usual things they include to show sort of random tools and bits. No actual like net sort of piece, but I do think that's a fun way to show. It makes the set symmetrical, right? When she's driving her, it's pretty symmetrical except for the bulk of stuff hanging off here. So yeah, I just thought the ship was very cool. I was really glad to get a refreshed sequels take on a speeder. I think they did that very well. Now the play feature for this is pretty cool. I did not realize it was this until I built it, whether or not I just skipped over it on the box or whatever. But since this is so big and blocky as an engine piece, they used a storage compartment in here. So part of this engine build back here, this is one big long like Technic rod running through, and so you can twist this bottom engine piece, and when you twist it, there's a lever inside that'll pop open both of those front hull panels. And so what you can do is pop them open, honestly, like to the extent it looks like a U-wing going into battle. But you can really pull them out and aside and see the inner workings of the ship. They got some like translucent blue pieces in there for engines and stuff. But one of the things that works is they put a storage crate inside there that fits in. And so you could put valuable scavenging stuff for thermal detonators, whatever you want to add in here. That to me was really, really cool. It just slides in there over plates, holds itself steady, and then you can close it up. And it's sort of tucked away and hidden. I really like that. As someone who probably wants to, again, build maybe my own custom in-universe speeder, I think a feature like that is really inspiring. I might try and build one of these in a different color scheme. The point of in the universe is that these speeders are made en masse, right? It's the same as buying a Honda Civic or buying a motorcycle. This isn't the only speeder that looks like that in the world, or in the galaxy, I should say. So building this in a different colorway would be very cool, and then just adding some other features. Like I would love to add, maybe bulk up this back section, like your character custom built some sort of backrest and some saddlebags on either side. This is a very inspiring ship, surprising to me, I should say. Was kind of planning on just getting a little sequel ship. I've got a couple other sequel sets. I do think the First Order troopers look really cool. They're very like streamlined second gen stormtroopers. And so I was in a bit of a buying sequel sets purge. So yeah, surprising how much I'm liking these sets and how cool I think they're all going to be to display together. And so Rey's speeder bike to me looks really, really good. They included a lot of features in it for the price and the size that it is. There's even, sorry, gotta do this facing the camera, clip on the side here to add her staff to it. Obviously when she's up there sitting on it, it looks good. It is like a 4-stud connection, which is interesting. They've kind of gone away from doing that. But yeah, I think it looks really, really good for all the little details they were able to include. And I'm very happy having this set now. I found this set used. Again, I got it it came with every box and everything together, completely disassembled. And it's small enough you don't need to worry about bags 1, 2, and 3 or whatever. You can just sort of dig through all the pieces and put it together. But very, very happy with it. The one thing I will note is that these dark red maroon pieces have that same brittle brown tendency to it. And so if you put them on wrong and you start having to use one of the fix-it pieces, the brick separators, there's a chance you crack or break some of these red pieces, which is really disheartening because it's obviously not a color or piece that you'll have a lot of backlog of. It's not the same as breaking like a black 2x2 tile that you'll have a million of. So keep in mind with that, build this thing with a little bit of intention. I was aware of that going in, so I was really careful. Just double checking some of the sets and instructions and just placing the right bricks where they need to go. Just so I didn't have to worry about any broken pieces. But something to note that I don't know how they fix, something to do with their dye they use or the way they do certain colors. But it'd be great if they could get that under control. But otherwise, really, really happy with this set. I got it really cheap. I got it, I think, 20 bucks all in, shipped to my door. So such a steal. Yeah, really happy with it. Happy to make some custom modifications to it. Happy to honestly make a second version that's a different color that's going to be more my in-universe characters. One of the ships he can use. And so just an inspiring little ship to have, surprisingly to me. So I really recommend people getting it. If you can find them used, you can find them used and complete for really cheap, probably like under 25 for sure. So keep your eye out for those. Snag one up, cool little display piece, and it doesn't take up much shelf space if you want to build a bit of a sequel as First Order scene. So yeah, thanks for listening. I'll see you guys on the next one.